There is always silence before the storm. Glory to God.
Amen.
Two little boys, aged 8 and 10, were excessively mischievous. They always get into trouble and their parents don't know how to deal with it. If any mischief occurs in their town, the two boys are probably involved. The boy's mother heard that a preacher in town had been successful in disciplining the children. So she asked if he would speak with her boys. The preacher agreed, but he asked to see them individually. So the mother sent the younger one first in the morning, leaving the elder one for the second half. The preacher, a huge man with a booming voice, sat the younger boy down and asked him sternly, "Son, do you know where God is?" The boy's mouth dropped open, but he made no response. Sitting there, so the preacher repeated the question in an even sterner tone. "I'm asking, do you know where God is?" Again, the boy made no attempt to answer. The preacher raised his voice even more and shook his finger in the boy's face and bellowed, "I'm asking, where is God?" The boy screamed and bolted from the room, ran directly home and dove into his closet, slamming the door behind him. When his older brother found him in the closet, he asked, "What happened?" He replies, "We are in big trouble this time." The older man asks, "Why?" He replies, "It seems God is missing and they are thinking we did it." Thankfully, my two sons are not that mischievous as of yet. But unfortunately, in today's world, there are many who feel God is missing. Or literally speaking, they feel there is no God. And they don't realize the extent of God's love. In past few months, I have been traveling to from UK to Switzerland. And I have traveled around 4 trips in 2 months for some work-related aspect. And I used to have my colleagues every trip when I go there for some work. Towards the end of the day, we used to go out for dinner at open restaurants besides this beautiful lake in Switzerland. The place is called Zug, and there is a Zug lake which is very calm, serene, surrounded by mountains, swamps across, very picturesque view. And besides that, we have this restaurant and we have dinner. Apparently one of my colleague is originally from Britain, so he's typical British. Another one from Hong Kong, origin is from Hong Kong, now he's in Britain. One from Netherlands, and one very humble person from France, and another a flamboyant person from Switzerland. And lastly me, from India, predominantly Hindu country. Different personality from different cultures and different countries. During the dinner, as my colleagues, they are used to take some alcoholic drink, wine or some other drinks when they start having. Invariably, some or the other discussion would start. I don't know whether it is the alcohol effect or any other effect, but because I don't drink, so I don't know. But once the discussion started, it goes on. Some or the other debate, everybody will start. One such on a dinner event, the discussion started around Christianity. The Brits said, I don't believe in this concept of God. Because there is no rational and there is no scientific proof that God exists. The person from Netherlands, he drinking as a, yes, you're right. I agree with you. Soon the person from that Switzerland, he says, you know what, this Bible, you should use it as a moral guidance. You should not take everything from it. There are some of the points which are morally good, so you can take as a moral guide occasionally, but otherwise you should not take it literally. The person from Hong Kong, not to be left behind, he said, you know what, I am a pretending Christian. And so I asked, what does it mean? It means I go to church, but I don't believe what they preach or what the preacher preaches there. And I think I believe Jesus, but I don't believe what the teachings and what we should be doing mentioned. I don't believe it. So I was getting a bit infuriated. So I asked him whether if you don't believe, why do you have to go to church then? He says, aha, that's the point. Because I want an easy school admission for my children. And that's the reason I go to church. Even though I didn't find that funny there, I told that I believe in Jesus and in Bible in its entirety, not selective. To which they were looking me, saying that, how stupid, like the eyes, is a strange eyes saying that. Then I asked the Frenchman, because he was a bit humble, polite, he is a bit elder than others in that group. So I said, your name suggests this one, so you have any other views? So he's saying, I'm not a Christian. So I said, your name itself is Christian. His name is Christian. So he says, yeah, that name my parents have put it, but actually I don't go to church, or maybe once when somebody marriage is there we might go, but otherwise we're not religious. And in fact, most of my people around in France, most of the percentage of people don't go or don't believe. So suddenly it set